Hello. Today I thought that I would try my hand at soft-spoken. I've never tried soft-spoken before. I'm a little nervous that my voice will break, like I'm a prepubescent teenage boy. So, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But to test this out, I thought I could read Frida McFadden's The Boyfriend. I've not read this before, so it will be my first time reading it. I've read a couple of Frida's books. They're pretty good. Sorry. I'm a bit of a sucker for like mystery, crime, thrillers, whodunits, that kind of a thing. So I think I'm just gonna start by reading the back, where it's just got the information. So, she's looking for the perfect man. He's looking for the perfect victim. Sydney Shaw, like every single woman in New York, has terrible luck with dating. She's seen it all. Men who lie in their dating profile, men who stick her with the dinner bill, and worst of all, men who can't shut up about their mothers. Not the mommy issues. But finally, she hits the jackpot. Her new boyfriend is utterly perfect. He's charming, handsome, and works as a doctor at a local hospital. Sydney is swept off her feet. Then the brutal murder of a young woman, the latest in a string of deaths across the coast, confounds police. The primary suspect, a mysterious man who dates his victims before he kills them. Sydney should feel safe. After all, she is dating the man of her dreams. But she can't shake her own suspicions that the perfect man may not be as perfect as he seems, because someone is watching her every move, and if she doesn't get to the truth, she'll be the killer's next victim. In a dark story about obsession and the things that we'll do for love, the #1 New York Times bestselling author, Frida McFadden, proves that crimes of passion are often the bloodiest. So that's what's on the back. And this is actually like sorry, my camera setup is wild, but this is actually a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I am extremely partial toward Barnes & Noble, despite them being expensive. Oh, girl loves Barnes & Noble. Okay. So, let's find the first page. Ooh, we actually have a prologue. Before, Tom. I am desperately, painfully, completely, and stupidly in love. Her name is Daisy. We met when we were 4 years old. I've been in love with the girl since age 4. That's how pathetic I am. I saw her at the playground feeding bits of her sandwich to the hungry squirrels, and all I could think was that I had never met any living creature as beautiful or as kind as Daisy Driscoll. And I was gone. For a long time, I didn't tell her how I felt. I couldn't. It seemed impossible, but sorry? It seemed impossible that this angel with golden hair and pale blue eyes and skin like the porcelain of our bathroom sink could ever feel a tenth of what I felt for her, so there was no point in trying. But lately, that's changed. Lately, Daisy has been letting me walk her home from school. If I'm lucky, she lets me hold her hand. And she gives me that secret little smile on her cherry red lips that makes my knees weak. I'm starting to think she might want me to kiss her. But I'm scared. I'm scared that if I tried to kiss her, she would slap me across the face. I'm scared that if I told her how I really feel, she would look at me in sympathy and tell me she doesn't feel the same way. I'm scared she might never let me walk her home again. But that's not what I'm most scared of. What I am most scared of is that if I lean in to kiss Daisy, she will let me do it. I'm scared that she will agree to be my girlfriend. I'm scared that she will allow me into her bedroom when her parents aren't home so that we can finally be alone together. And I'm terrified that the moment I get her alone, I will wrap my fingers around her pretty white neck and squeeze the life out of her. Isn't that romantic? Chapter 1. Present day, Sydney. Who is this man and what has he done with my date? I'm supposed to be meeting a man named Kevin for dinner tonight at 8 o'clock. Well, it was supposed to be drinks at 6 o'clock. Drinks are easier to escape from. But Kevin messaged me through the Cinch dating app that he was running late at work, and could we push it to dinner at 8? Against my better judgment, I said yes. But Kevin seemed really nice when we were texting, and in his photos he was cute. Really cute. He had this boyish smile with a twinkle in his eyes, and his light brown hair was adorably messy as it fell over his forehead. He looked like a young Matt Damon. I've been on a lot of bad dates through Cinch, but I was cautiously optimistic about this one. I even arrived early at the restaurant, and I have spent the last 10 minutes eagerly waiting at the bar for him to arrive. Sydney, the man standing before me asks. Yes. I stare at the man, waiting for him to tell me that Kevin was killed in a tragic taxi accident on the way to our date, because this guy is definitely not Kevin. But instead, he sticks out his hand. I'm Kevin, he says. I don't budge from the bar stool. You are? Okay, let's be real here. Nobody looks as good in real life as their dating app photos. I mean, if you're looking to score a date, you're not going to snap a photo of yourself when you're rolling out of bed with a hangover. You're going to doll yourself up, take about 50 different shots from every conceivable angle, and with a dozen lighting options, and you're going to pick the very best one. That's just good sense. And hey, maybe that one perfect photo was taken 10 years ago. I don't agree with this logic, but I understand why people do it. But this guy, there's no way he is the same man as in his Cinch profile. Not 10 years ago, not ever. I just don't believe it. Even though it's an obnoxious move, I grab my phone. I grab my phone from my purse and bring the app right in front of him. I compare the boyish, handsome man in the photo to the man standing in front of me. Yeah, nope. That is so rude. My date for the evening is at least 10 years older than the guy in the photo and bone thin, bordering on gaunt. I think his eye color is different too. His blonde hair is badly receding, but what's left of it is long and pulled back into an unkempt ponytail. This is not the same man as in the photo. I'm even more sure of that than I am of the fact that I enjoy long walks through Central Park and binging Netflix. Yeah, that's me, fake Kevin assures me, although really, the guy in the photo is fake Kevin. Maybe the photo really is of Matt Damon. I'm starting to think it might be. I begin to protest that he doesn't look anything like the photo, but the word sounds so superficial in my head. Okay, yes, Kevin looks vastly different from his profile photo, but does that really matter? We have been texting through Cinch, and he seems like a nice enough guy. I should give him a chance. And if it's not going well, my friend Gretchen will be calling me in 20 minutes with a manufactured excuse to tell me to get me the hell out of here. I never ever go on a date without a planned rescue call. It's really great to meet you in real life, the real Kevin says. You look exactly like your photo. Does he expect me to say it back? Is this some kind of test? I say, come on, he says, let's get a seat. We snag a booth in the corner of the bar. As we're walking over there, I can't help but notice the way Kevin towers over me. I tend to like tall men, but he badly needs a little meat on his bones. It feels like I'm walking next to a broomstick. I'm so glad we are finally doing this, Kevin tells me as he slides into the seat across from me. Why is his ponytail so messy? Couldn't he have at least combed it before our date? Me too, I say, which is only slightly a lie. He rakes his gaze over me, an approving expression on his gaunt face. I have to tell you, Sydney, now that we're actually meeting in person, I genuinely feel like you are the perfect woman. Oh? Absolutely, he beams at me. If I closed my eyes and imagined the perfect girl, it would be you. Wow, that's sweet. Possibly one of the nicest compliments I've received on a date. Thank you, real Kevin. I'm starting to feel glad that I stayed, and oh my god. Apparently, I have stage fright because I can't read. And like I said, I do like tall men, so even though he looks vastly different from his profile, I get a tiny tug of attraction. Thank you. Well, he adds, except for your arms. My arms? They're kind of flabby. He wrinkles his nose. But other than that, wow. Like I said, you're the perfect woman. Wait, my arms are too flabby? Did he really just say that to me? Worse, now I am straining to surreptitiously examine my bare arms. And why did I wear a sleeveless dress tonight? I have only 2 sleeveless dresses in my closet. I could have worn something with sleeves that would have concealed my apparently hideous arms, but no, I chose this. Can I get you 2 something to drink? A waitress is standing over us, her eyebrows raised. I pry my gaze away from my monstrous arm and look up at her. I'll have a Diet Coke. A Diet Coke? Kevin seems affronted. That's boring. Get a real drink. I never drink alcohol when I'm on the first date with a man I've met on Cinch. I don't want to impair my judgment in any... Hello? I don't want to impair my judgment in any way. Diet Coke is a real drink. No, it's not. Well, it's a liquid. I glare at him across the sticky wooden table, so I would call it a drink. Kevin rolls his eyes at the waitress. Fine. I will have a Corona, and she will have a Diet Coke. Then he winks at the waitress and mouths the word sorry. Ew. I glance over at my purse next to me. When is Gretchen going to call? I need an escape route. But maybe I'm not being fair. I've only known real Kevin for 5 minutes. I should give him more of a chance. That's why I told Gretchen to call 20 minutes into the date after all. 5 minutes is a snap judgment. If I can't give a guy more than 5 minutes, I'm going to be having first dates for the next 20 years. And now that I'm 34 years old, I don't have that luxury. Hot damn, Kevin remarks, following the path of the waitress with his eyes as she goes to get our drinks. She has really nice arms. Gretchen, where are you? This is insanity. Chapter 2. So, you have to pay $2,000 if you're a new member joining the group, Kevin explains to me. But for some vacation package you sell, you earn a $5,000 commission. Pretty amazing, right? I drag one of my french fries through a little trail of ketchup on my plate. We are nearly 40 minutes into this date, and I am inexplicably still here. Stupid Gretchen. She's making out with her boyfriend or something and has forgotten about all about poor little me. I even texted her SOS, and she still didn't call me. I could definitely get you into the group. Kevin chomps one of his spicy barbecue chicken wings. He's got an incredibly healthy appetite for such a skinny guy. I pointed out to him once that the barbecue sauce was getting on his cheek, and he wiped it off that time. But every single time he takes a bite, more of it gets all over his face. At some point, I got sick of telling him his face was dirty. Do you want me to call Lois at the corporate headquarters? This is an interesting opportunity. And, this is an amazing opportunity, Sydney. You're lucky I came along. No, thank you, I say. Kevin reaches over and grabs my Diet Coke. When he This is my 13th reason. When his wing arrived, he complained they were way too spicy, and then, over the course of 15 minutes, he proceeded to drain his beer, then a second beer, and now he has commandeered my Diet Coke. Why not? Why would you turn down an opportunity to make like 6 figures a year? Because it's a pyramid scheme? A pyramid scheme? Kevin chuckles. Why would you think that? Because I am an accountant and I know what a pyramid scheme is? No, you just don't understand, he insists. Look, I'm trying to do you a favor, Sydney. You've got this super boring job crunching numbers all day. Wouldn't you rather make a few sales a year and relax the rest of the time on your own luxury vacation property? I don't know what to say to that, so instead I grab my purse. I'm going to the bathroom. I hope the bathroom has a window that I can climb out of. When I get to the ladies' room, I find that there is sadly no window, so I actually use the toilet, then I spend another 2 minutes looking at myself in the mirror, carefully examining my flabby arms. They don't look that bad, do they? Do they? I am Googling arm slimming exercises on my phone when it starts to ring. Gretchen's name pops up on the screen, and my jaw tightens. Finally, she's calling. 45 freaking minutes into the meal. I swipe to take the call. Seriously, Gretchen? I bark into the phone without even saying hello. I have been on the worst date ever, and it's pretty much all your fault. That's not entirely fair. The real Kevin deserves at least 50% of the credit for this awful evening, but I'm pissed off, and I need to take it out on somebody. I'm so sorry, Gretchen cries. Randy and I were watching a movie and we just lost track of time. Uh-huh. I didn't even want to watch the movie, she insists. Randy promised me he wouldn't let me forget about the call, but then, well, you know. I can hear Randy in the background saying, hey, don't tell her it's my fault. And then Gretchen giggles like he's tickling her or something. I bite my lip, resentful of how cute Gretchen and Randy are together. When she and I became friends, she was single like me. Then one day we were riding up in the elevator together and she started gushing about how adorable the super in my building is. What does that mean? And now they've been dating for like 6 months. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy my friend has found the guy for dreams. I'm just still trying to find mine. Where are you now? She asks, hiding in the bathroom, obviously. Oh God, I'm so sorry. It's fine, I grumble. You were probably making passionate love to your boyfriend while I'm stuck here with a guy who's trying to talk me into a pyramid scheme. Oh no, Sid, seriously? That's not even the worst of it, I say. His mother tried to FaceTime him in the middle of our meal, and he actually took the call. I had to say hello to her, his mother, Gretchen, on our first date. I'm truly sorry, she says, even though I can tell she's trying not to laugh. For sure. Really, Sid, I'm the worst. Tomorrow after yoga, lattes and muffins are on me. I suppose I can accept that apology. Anyway, the date is almost over. I'm about 5 minutes away from never seeing real Kevin or fake Kevin ever again. Well, I might see fake Kevin again if I go to a Matt Damon movie. I tell Gretchen goodbye, take one last critical look at my arms, which are fine the way they are, Kevin. Then I head back out to the table, and lo and behold, a miracle has occurred, and our check is on the table, waiting for me. I might get out of here sooner than expected. You are in there forever, Kevin comments. He wipes his lip on the back of his sleeve. It gets the sauce off his lips, but smears it all over his white and red checkered shirt. I don't even care anymore. Did you fall in? I manage a thin smile. Thanks for dinner. Sure thing. Kevin slides the check across the table to me. Your share comes to $38. I wouldn't have wanted Kevin to treat me to this meal because I don't want to owe him, but I'm having trouble figuring out how my small salad and Diet Coke plus tip somehow costs $38. The accountant in me wants to pick up the check and calculate my actual share of the meal, but the woman in me doesn't want to prolong for another second. So instead, I toss 2 20s on the table. While Kevin is climbing out of the booth, the song Eye of the Tiger comes on the radio. He grins at me and winks. This is my new favorite song. Isn't Rocky the greatest movie of all time? I haven't seen it. Kevin clutches his chest in astonishment, like I just told him I kill puppies for fun. You haven't seen it? Nope. Well, now we know what we're doing on our second date. I decide not to dispel him of the notion that there will not be another date. But as soon as I get out of here, I am blocking him on Cinch. He doesn't have my real phone number, so he has no way of contacting me again. And then, he adds, we can watch Rocky 2 on our 3rd date and Rocky 3rd on our 4th date. He is in the midst of planning our 7th date, Rocky 6. When we get out of the bar, it's smack in the middle of August, which is a great time to wear a sleeveless dress that shows off my grotesque arms, but also peak humidity time in New York City. Despite my leave-in conditioner and my careful efforts with the curling iron, my hair has started to frizz. Thankfully, I couldn't care less what my date thinks of my hair right now. I'll walk you home, Kevin tells me. I nearly choke. No, that's okay. He sticks out his chin. I absolutely insist. It's dark out. What sort of a gentleman would I be if I let you walk home if I let you walk home yourself in the dark? It's okay, really. You could be killed, Sydney. That seems unlikely. Anyway, I'm willing to risk death just to get away from this guy, but he has a determined look on his face, and I'm starting to suspect that the easiest option would be to just let him walk me home. Not that I'm actually going to let him walk me home. I live about 10 blocks away, and I figure after 3 or 4 blocks, I'll just point out a random building and tell him it's mine. Then I'll be free of real Kevin forever. Fine, I grumble. Let's go. He grins at me. Lead the way. Given that it's a Tuesday night rather than a weekend, the streets are emptier than they usually are when I'm out after dark by myself, especially since I usually travel in a busier area, and now I'm cutting through a more residential area just to get this over with as quickly as possible. The residential areas are always quieter, and they also smell less strongly of urine than the more populated path back to my apartment building. It's deserted enough here that it's not terrible to have Kevin's company. That said, there's no way I'm going to let him see where I live. I'll never get rid of the guy. I stop short at a brownstone a few blocks away from my actual apartment building. I gesture to the banister. Well, this is me. Hopefully he won't insist on walking me into the building because I have no way to get inside, but he seems very reluctant to leave. I had a great time, Sydney, Kevin tells me. I can't quite bring myself to return the sentiment, even just to be nice. Uh-huh. A corner of his lip quirks up. How about a hug? I eye his outstretched arms and pit stains that have gathered since we've been walking in the humid August air. I don't hug on first dates. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that sign was there. So sorry. Oh, at first I think he's going to protest, but then he says, well, how about a kiss then? Is he out of his ever-loving mind? I don't even want to hug him, but I definitely don't want this guy's slimy lips touching mine. Come on, he says. I bought you dinner. You're really not going to kiss me? He bought me dinner. On what planet does my paying $40 for a salad mean he bought me dinner? I don't kiss or hug on first dates, I explain. And then, in case he asks to bump hips or God knows what, I add, I have a strict no touching policy. Seriously? He takes a step closer to me. He towers over me, but I can still smell the sour stench of beer on his breath. I take a step back, bumping into the short set of stairs up to the entrance of the building I claim to live in. I scan the street, dismayed. There isn't another pedestrian and I shot. I thought Kevin was a dud, but I had labeled him as harmless. Big mistake. Come on, Sydney. He takes another step closer to me, this time uncomfortably close. Kevin may be skinny, but he looks strong. Stronger than me, that's for sure. You can't tease me like that. All I'm asking for is a kiss, for God's sake. I think this date is over, I say firmly. Don't be a tease, he frowns, his features contorting in the dim glow of the streetlight above us. All you women are the same. You're never going to land a husband if you won't even kiss a guy on a date, you know. My mind races, thinking through the contents of my purse and what I could use as a weapon. Gretchen gave me a can of mace, but I took it out at some point because it kept leaking all over my purse and I had never been in a situation where I was close to needing it. I do have a spritz bottle of hand sanitizer. If I sprayed him in the eyes with hand sanitizer, would that do the trick? Of course, that would mean I would have to locate it in my gigantic purse, which is probably 80% crumpled tissues at this point. I decide the best bet is to push past him and make a run for it. Another block or two, I'm certain to run into another person. Sydney, he says. I avoid eye contact as I try to dart around him, but Kevin is quicker than he looks. His fingers close around my wrist, pinning it against the jagged brick wall of the building. His spindly fingers bite into my flesh. Come on, Sydney, he says. Don't cut our night short. The fun is just getting started. Chapter 3. Sorry, my bad. Kevin has his body pressed against me. The stench of sour beer is almost overwhelming, and I have to turn my head away as I attempt to wriggle free. He doesn't just want to kiss. He wants something more than that, and he's not going to leave until he gets it. I should never have let him walk me home. God, why is he so strong? Let me go, I hiss at him. I told you, he says through his teeth, to stop being a tease. His body is pressed against me now, hot and uncomfortable. I open my mouth, ready to let out an ear-shattering scream. There are buildings on this block. Someone is sure to hear it, even though all the windows are closed and the air conditioners are blasting inside. But before any sound passes through my lips, a voice booms from behind me. Hey! Hey! What are you doing over there? Kevin eases his grip on my wrist. He backs away from me an inch or two, and I decide to take advantage of the fact that I can now move again. Bracing myself on a metal trash can next to me, I lift my right leg and knee him in the groin as hard as I can. It's gratifying how quickly Kevin goes down. I've never nailed the guy in the balls before, and wow, that works really well. He crouches down, clutching his family jewels, his face bright red. It's quite a rush, well, until I lose my balance in the process and tumble to the ground, clocking my head on the metal garbage can. You bitch, Kevin gasps. What the hell is wrong with you? As I gingerly get to my feet, I squint into the shadows at the figure who came to my rescue. It's too dark to see clearly, but it's obviously a man, about average build and height. He's looking down at Kevin, who is still doubled over. But then he glances up at me. Are you okay, miss? This is none of your business, Kevin spits out at him. We were on a date, you asshole. We were having a great time. The mysterious man continues to look at me, waiting for my answer. His eyes, dark shadows. I'm fine. I brush sidewalk dirt off my sleeveless blue dress, which I will probably never wear again for a multitude of reasons, including self-consciousness about my unacceptably flabby arms. I should just throw it out after this. I mean, now I'm fine. You're fine, Kevin bursts out. I should sue you for assault. Mystery Man let out an astonished snort. I saw what you were trying to do. I'd be happy to call the police and let them know all about it. With those words, he pulls his phone out of his pocket as if about to call 911. He looks at me again as if for permission, and I shake my head. This is not how I want the evening to end. I just want to go back home and soak in my bathtub and block Kevin on Cinch. I can report him to the admins since they all have his personal information. For the first time, Kevin looks properly worried. He manages to straighten up with some effort. Hey, he says. Hey, look, maybe you got the wrong idea. I wasn't going to... Get out of here, the mystery man cuts him off. Now, before your date changes her mind about calling the cops. His voice lowers a few notches, almost to a growl. And if you ever bother her again, I'm happy to testify to what I saw you do. Do you know what jail is like for a sex offender? Can I even say that on YouTube? Good Jesus. Kevin's eyes widen. He finally gets the idea. I watch my date limp down the street in the opposite direction of my apartment building. It's only when he disappears from sight that I finally feel my shoulders relax. Are you sure you're okay? Mystery Man asks me. I swivel my head in the direction of his voice. He has stepped into the glow of the streetlight so I can finally get a good look at him and wow. You know that cheesy thing people say that they look at another person and get hit by a lightning bolt? I always thought that was absolutely ridiculous until it happened to me about 3 years ago and I met my first lightning bolt guy. But that didn't work out, and I had given up hope that it would ever happen again. But now, here it is. That damn lightning bolt back once again. Mystery Man is hot, to say the least. He has thick black hair and cold black eyes, with a level of intensity that sends yet another lightning bolt through me. His strong jaw makes him seem utterly in control and confident. His face has that pleasing textbook symmetry. He's wearing a black t-shirt that shows off his lean build and makes his dark hair and eyes seem even more intense. There's also no glint of a wedding band on his left hand. But best of all is the way he's staring back at me. If I got hit by a lightning bolt, he did too. I'd bet my life on it. I'm okay, I managed, just, shaken. Mystery Man looks into the distance, making sure that Kevin is really gone. Is he your boyfriend? I shake my head. We just met tonight. Hooked up on Cinch. My face burns slightly. I don't mean hooked up, obviously, but we had a date for tonight. I had quite unnecessarily. It was bad. I gathered. He doesn't know where I live. I hug my arms to my chest. I'll report him to the app. They take this kind of thing seriously. I don't think he'll bother me again, but thanks for helping me. He flashes a lopsided smile. Looks like you took him down pretty good yourself. He could barely walk. I smile at the satisfying memory of how it felt to sink my knee into Kevin's balls. Thanks. The mystery man is staring at me, that half smile playing on his lips. The electricity between the two of us is palpable. Sometimes I'm not sure if a guy is interested in me or not, but the way mystery man is looking at me, I know he's interested. And despite feeling shaken about what had just happened, I would happily hand over my phone number right now. What a great meet cute. What is a meet cute? I can already imagine telling, this story to our children. This jerk was trying to kiss me, and that, kids, is how I met your father. Can you make it home from here? Mystery man asks me. I look around. In the last few minutes, the streets have become more crowded. It doesn't feel quite as desolate as it did when Kevin grabbed me. I'll be fine. Great, he says. And then, to my shock, he starts to turn away, to leave. Thank you again, I call out. I really appreciate what you did. You're, like, my hero. That gets a full-on smile out of the guy. And if possible, he's even more handsome when he smiles. He's got to be some kind of actor, model, or something. I mean, geez. Of course, he says. I'm just glad you're okay. We stare at each other for another half beat, and I imagine the next words out of my mouth. Would it be okay if I called you sometime? Can I take you out on Saturday night? Can we make passionate love tonight? Are you down for that? That's a crazy jump. But he doesn't say any of that. He doesn't even ask me my name. He simply raises one hand and says, well, good night then. And then he walks away. What the hell? Okay, there's another chapter from Tom's perspective, which I feel like would be interesting, but it's kind of long. It's 10 pages, and I don't know if I want to get all into that, because it's like, it's almost 1 a.m. here. So I think I'm going to end that here. Yeah. So far, I really like this book. If any, not that anyone asked. It sounds really good. I'm excited to continue reading it. If anyone of you like me to continue, I've said this previously, I don't know like how legal that is, but pretty much no one watches these. So I don't think it really matters that much. And I think worst comes to worst, they just like delete it and they're like, no ma'am, you can't do that. So just let me know in the comments if you wouldn't mind dropping a like, or if you don't care about the book, maybe giving a different suggestion, giving feedback, literally anything, because engagement helps. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope that you're able to sleep, relax, focus, whatever it is that you wanted to get out of this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.